The beginning of issue 2 is not what you would expect after where issue 1 left off. We see Mjolnir and young men taking their turn at attempting to pick up the hammer. We witness one young man try and fail, but the next guy up succeeds at wielding the hammer of Thor. He is then welcomed into this group of Thors, which are apparently the law and protectors of Battleworld. During their ceremony, he is made to kneel before a shrine of Doom. This place of the Thors is known as Doomsgard. The young man is told that he has done well and is told that he will undergo some sort of change. Apparently, challenges to the body and to the mind are part of this change to become a Thor. The boy is asked where he's from. He replies, Higher Avalon. He's told that the kingdom he is from is in good standing with the throne, which is held by Dr. Doom. And going back to this throne, there's a lot of similarities to the TV show and the book series Game of Thrones. I'm a big fan of that series, so I picked up on these hints rather well, so I'll try to point them out as we go along. Segue into the kingdom of Utopolis. Something is found crashed underneath the water of the sea. Some kind of minister and a couple other characters travel down and find what appears to be the craft of the Fantastic Four. A couple Thors pass over Higher Avalon. We meet what looks like Battleworld's version of Captain Britain, and we end up in a place called Bar Sinister. No surprise, we find Mr. Sinister on the throne here. The Thors inform him that he is summoned to court, and after a few snide remarks, they teleport him to Doomstadt. Doomstadt is a huge castle with some form of Galactus as a guard. The Sheriff of Agamotto informs Baron Sinister that he will be presiding over his hearing. He is being charged with discord by House Braddock. A sort of mitigation takes place, and Baron Sinister is found guilty and is sentenced to pay restitution in gold or territory. Baron Sinister simply says, "I think not." The sheriff gets a little upset, but Baron Sinister explains he would rather have a trial by combat. Captain Britain needs to accept or the charges would be dropped. As Baron Britain was about to accept, Baron Sinister tells him he was speaking to his brother, to which his brother accepts the challenge. The fight begins, and after a little back and forth taunting, Mr. Sinister lunges toward Braddock, and with one swipe of his stun stick, he cuts the head of Sinister clean off. Just as he seems victorious, Sinister's body continues the fight. Brian is bested by the headless body, and just as Sinister reattaches his head, he brings a stick down as hard as he can at Brian's head, and just before it crushes his skull, Doom, with just a motion of his finger, stops the staff just before it splits his nugget. After the fight, Doom questions the Braddocks about a betrayal, where their name had been given, and just as he was about to order their whole family to be publicly punished, it appears that Sue Storm is sitting next to him and whispers to him that he should show mercy. What is this? How is Sue Storm sitting with Dr. Doom? Didn't she vanish? Didn't she crash? How is this possible? Doom shows mercy as Sue asks, and as everyone departs, Sue asks Valeria if she's coming with her, but Valeria wants to speak with the sheriff, so she says she's going to stay behind. The sheriff looks a little like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. And now we find Captain Britain at some place called the Shield. It appears to be some sort of huge long wall where guilty men are taken to be punished. Sounds like another Game of Thrones reference. The Thors ask him if he has any last words. He says, "When they come to pull you down, don't let them drag you. You jump and take as many of the bastards with you as you can." He then jumps off the wall and lands in the midst of a venom-looking creature and hundreds of zombies or some form of a horde. And the horde that lies beyond the wall is called the Deadlands. Not only the horde, but some kind of drone army is there, and automatons known as the Ultron AI lie beyond the wall as well. The Thors return to Castle Doom to advise the sheriff that Captain Britain is dead. And as he asks, He also asks the sheriff if he can retire home for the evening, and the sheriff asks him if he can do him a favor and make sure that the craft that they found be quarantined. They head out to the craft to quarantine it. One of the beings that's with them touches something he shouldn't have, and the door on the craft opens up. The Thors see something on the craft and begin screaming at each other to go and run, but a spear hits the older one in the back. He yells at the younger Thor to run and then catches an axe to the chest. He raises his hammer to try and fight back, but another spear flies from the ship and hits him through his helmet. Through the door of the ship steps Thanos. The ship's design had been stolen by the 1610's Reed Richards and built by Thanos to escape as the 616 Fantastic Four did. Thanos asks one question: where are we? And the being he grabs by the throat answers,